Good morning. That's about as far as I knew I was going to take it. No, I've been thinking about ideas, and I want to share with you. It's too dark, you can't see. Hold on. Friday, the 24th of February. I think my only point, no, I have a lot of points actually. First, I want to say thank you to all the people that I am able to interact with. Now, I'm new to the whole social media experience. I'm grateful that I'm able to be here. And I hope that I'm positive and respectful. And if I'm not, please, someone allow me to correct my behavior. I realize that I think I'm funny occasionally, but not everyone has the same sense of humor as I do. So I don't know what the etiquette is. Like, say if I'm, because hypothetically I'm on YouTube, I make YouTube videos that aren't very good, but I'm still on there. I'm trying to carve out a little niche for myself that is the way that I want it to be, not the way that other people tell me. Because if I realize if I have a ton of followers, but I did it all in a way that I don't enjoy or appreciate, then I'm stuck in this revolving cycle that I'm not happy with, right? But if I just do things the way that I want to do them, and it's a very slow, arduous, painstaking process, but at least I'm doing things the way that I want to do. And it brings me to my first point, is number one, I love engaging with people. People who are joyful. I do. No, I was thinking about this, like, if someone asked me, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're just doing random stuff. No, I'm not. Look, I'm taking the loss. Every day, currently, I'm taking the loss because the reality is I put myself in thousands of situations, maybe even tens of thousands of situations that ended up costing me, physically and mentally. Now I need to heal, right? So if you ask me, what are you doing? I'm going to take the next 10 years to heal. And I hope that I can still interact with the people that I'm interacting with online, because I want to be like, yo, that's what I'm testing. That's where I'm at. My mother was a nurse. I grew up around people in hospitals, and I realized that doctors and medical professionals are just people too, and they make mistakes. And I've never had a situation that I went into in a Western medical facility that ended up being the way that the doctor said. There was always something that came up, something that was. So all I'm saying is, I'm trying to be honest, open, and straightforward with you. I got a lot of medical issues, but I think I'm here. Look, this is what I realized. I appreciate my progress. And if I'm attempting to be positive and stretch and heal my body in a way that isn't on a timetable for someone else. When I used to have a job, you had to heal in a certain amount of time. Like, you need to get back to work. So now that I don't work, now that I don't have a job, I can experiment with my own ideas. And I think that the progress I'm making will project me into a position where I think I'll be able to do some of the things that I used to do probably in 10 years. I'm happy with that. I really am. I think a lot of times, look, I'm not speaking for anyone, but I'm not going to do an elective surgery unless I am 100% comfortable with the negative outcome. So I like to say, well, what if this goes wrong? What am I going to be left with? And I ask myself, can I live with that? Because the reality is most of the time things don't come out the way that you expect them to. So if I plan and prepare for whatever it was that they said was going to be the outcome, if it didn't work out and I'm okay with that, then I would do that. That's just my personal opinion. But I love interacting with people. I do. Especially if someone I realized a lot of times people, they point out things, but like kind of in a messed up way. And it's like, well, that's okay. That's the way they were raised, or that's the way they grew up. There's 8 billion people. That means there's 8 billion ways of interpreting things. There's 8 billion ways of speaking to people. Why limit yourself to only a few? I was born and raised in the Bay Area. I grew up in San Francisco. I love San Francisco. I always saw myself returning, and I didn't leave because I didn't enjoy it or love it. I left because it was very expensive and I wanted to expose myself to other ideas. I did. I went to college and I got my bachelor's degree in the town where the Republican Party was founded. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying, like, I appreciate learning from both sides because I think there is a wealth of knowledge and experience to be learned from every side. So, but the thing I realized though, so I'm 40 and I spent roughly, not exactly, 20 years in a hardcore Democratic environment and 20 years in a hardcore Republican environment. But now I'm starting to realize, I'm like, but all of this was under the Western medicine umbrella. You know, I went to Hong Kong with my wife and my son, and I realized that Eastern medicine is just as valid as Western medicine. And if I only limit myself to being exposed to Western medicine, that really isn't my specialty. You know, my specialty is philosophy. I'm an amateur philosopher. I spent the last 40 years trying to develop my mind. I think Eastern medicine and Eastern technology maybe is something that I should explore for the next 40 years. No, I'm just trying to think of it logically, you know, because I really appreciate, and I think there is absolutely value to understanding that there is a physical and then there is a non-physical, and the more you work on both, I think the better you'll be in life. Thank you. I love you. I'm going to do my best to interact with people today in a way that's more conducive with how they do things, because I realize I need to take the initiative and meet people on their comfortable ground, on their high ground. No, like that's what I expect of myself. I'm not saying anyone should do any of the things that I'm saying. I need to take it upon myself to reach out to the people who find me wrong, and I'll be like, you know what, you're probably right. That's why I wake up every day and I work, because I want to find the answers for me. I want to get to where you're at. You know, I want to feel comfortable feeling like I have the answers, and I don't. And I realize everywhere I go, everyone I look at has that comfort. So I want to get to that point. And maybe it'll take me 40 more years. Maybe I have to live in a completely different environment to expose myself to ideas that I never thought about or even contemplated. And I'll unlock things in my mind, and then maybe we'll touch base again. No, to the people who don't want to hear me. So, like, this is my only point. I'll bring it full circle. I've realized that there's people in this world, and I think everyone's the same, that, you know, you're like, this person's interesting, so you start to learn about them. And little by little, the more you get to know, the more you're like, wow, this is a really awesome person. Like, the more you learn, the more you want to learn. But then there's also, and there's levels, right? But there's also the flip side of that someone you're interested in, and the more you learn, the more you're like, I'm not about this. I don't want to even be in it. So, and I think there should be a way where you can separate yourself from those people without losing everything. No, I'm just saying, like, I think maybe we should all realize that, you know, sometimes you meet people, you like them or you don't like them. There should be an easy way to interact with people without having it be so heavy, so weightful. You know, I feel like a lot of times every single word is like taken to the extreme. It's like, hold on here. Let's understand that really the only thing that we can't come back from is death. And I mean, even that's disputable, right? Mr. Walt Disney, who may or may not be walking around today. Thank you. I love you. Have a blessed day.